Thank you. And so next one is the public comment. Again, is there?
123.
Are you serious?
Let's see. Let me see
Bill
who's
Mine.
here. Let
Bill
me
Mine.
say who's here. Yes.
Mr. Chairman. Lynn is tired, Bill is tired.
No, Lynn Lazi. Yeah.
No. They say. I'll look at it.
Anybody else?
Hello again, Mayor and Council. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Gary. I think he's a great candidate for the Beautification Commission. He attended the meeting before he was appointed to figure out what was going on and really made an informed decision about wanting to engage in community service at that level. So welcome, Gary. And relating to, I also would like to congratulate Fatima for the approval to make the addition on her home. I think that's a really great program, and I'm glad to see that more and more residents are having the option to buy the neighboring lot and build on their own properties. I do have to say that I disagree with your decision on Resolution 2023-78. I think that because this was a long meeting, there wasn't time to listen to our controller before a decision was made and really see that the funds were coming from, you know, something that's not out of our surplus and was within budget. And because of that decision, I have a concern about inflation. Everything, all prices are going up crazy rates right now. We could have saved $60,000 just on the unit itself. And instead we're gonna have to pay more later. There's no guarantee when they'll be available. If it is when we want to, can I have another minute? And then also there's the added expense of the maintenance on our existing equipment, plus the manual labor for employees and increased risk of injury, making workers' comp, which could also cost more. And lastly, related to the flag issue, there were some comments made that said that only national flags have been flown and that the pride flag was the first non-national flag that's been flown, and that is incorrect. I really encourage council to pay attention to the details, we can get records of every flag that's been flown over the years. The very second year this resolution was passed, the Sicilian flag was allowed to be flown. That is not a nation, that is not a country. The Cherokee Nation flag has been flying for several years. The African Union flag has been flying for many years. With the currently approved resolution, those flags are no longer allowed to be flown. And that is cutting out certain demographics of our community that have been marginalized for several years, decades, centuries. And so I just really encourage you to pay really close attention to the language that's used in resolutions, make sure that you're questioning, researching, and making sure that you're making as informed decisions as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. So that was one of the violations that the former government did, to fly some groups while the resolution clearly said nations. So they abused their power. What can we do? We weren't there at that time, but it shouldn't be the norm for our future decisions. Yeah, continue.
Oh, okay, Hassan.
Simon, you're on public activists. You know, the emails that the clerk was reading to, it was ridiculous. I'm asking for you guys to sit there and do a motion to deny any email for the clerk to read. 100 and something? This is ridiculous. Nobody says sit there and do emails. You got concerns? You come to city council. You don't come to city council, you ain't gonna talk. There's no need for her to sit there 100 and 200 and 300 papers sitting there. We're sitting there just for hours. What time is it right now? 11:43. People got families to go to. By the time I get home, it's gonna be 1 o'clock in the morning. This is ridiculous. I've never seen something like this. And then they want to sit there and say that about the flag. Nobody said we were going to sit here and put the Lebanese flag. Nobody said we were going to put the Iraqi flag. Nobody said we're going to put any flag. No flag should be put but the American flag. This is America. We're here. We love America, and this is the only flag we represent. You don't see me pointing the Trump flag, because I support Trump. And I'm gonna say it nice and clear. I used to be a Democrat. Ever since they put the book issue, I became a full Republican. And I tell somebody something, that I will never, ever in my life, vote for a Democrat because of the situation regarding the books and regarding our children. Thank you, have a great night, and be safe. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Good night.
Mr. Bill Meyer.
Okay, so why didn't we have the controller come up when you were talking about that issue? I mean, that would have been nice. This was all a sell job. These guys are coming up selling you things, and you had to buy it or not. And I mean, even our city manager was a former chief of police. He helped you convince you to buy the tasers, and he knows all about it. I mean, it's a sell job, is what it is. The better seller, you're going to get it, whether we need it or not. You're going to. The guy who sells it does good. I'm not saying we don't need it. I'm not just saying. All right. So, anyways, yes, I have something here. Okay, so I want to commend. First of all, I got to talk to the mayor when you talk. So tell your fellow councilman, welcome back. I'm really glad that Khalil is back with us.
Thank you, Bill.
Did you just say you're glad he came out?
What's that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I commend you all for your patience and what did I say? Patience, I guess, is the word, and sanity. Listening to going through all that long list of attacks. I mean, there was some hateful and disrespectful speech going on here. Lots of threats being thrown out at the council, and being called Hitlers or being called ignorant imbeciles or idiots that don't know what you're doing. And that was the compliments. All Muslims were against the issue. I mean, we're against the flag being in, and most of the non-binary community was for it. It was split. It was obvious where people were at. It shouldn't be that way. We should all be together somehow. But, not allowing certain flags to fly in Hamtramck will change. Oh, really?
But I was holding it up for 10 seconds, so speak fast.
Okay, so it's not going to change anybody's mind about the issue. I mean, whether you have a flag or not, to be honest. If you want to work together, we'll work together. Flag doesn't make a difference. What we need is positive, personal interactions between that. That'll bring people. I asked for another minute.
Ask the mayor.
I have to ask you. Okay, yes, thanks. So, we need Muslims helping gays when they're in trouble. We need gays working in the Muslim community so that we, in commissions, I think we're trying to do that. We're working together, and once we all, maybe some from the LGBTQIA2S world community will come up and run for office someday, and we'll be part of you, and everything will get better and better. So that's what we're working for. I don't think this issue made anything worse. I really think it was a problem in the first place because the Human Relations Commission overstepped their bounds, and we know that. I was the chair of the Human Rights Commission. I know that whole history, and I can tell you, I was the first one, that, as far as I know, to bring a gay person into the commission. And 2 meetings later, he colluded with the mayor to fire me. So, I mean, that's how that worked out. I want to say that the most difficult challenge we all have is to find a way to live with people we don't agree with and don't think with. We have to use peace, justice, and love. One more thing.
5 seconds.
They're not all international flags. You have an POW-MIA flag up there. That's not an international flag.
Thank you, Bill.
It's controversial. That should not be.
Thank you, Bill.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Mr. Mayor, that's all for public comment.
All right, thank you so much, guys. And now we move to a closed session.
Motion? Second.
Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh.
I hope it's quick.
We're not doing
Congratulations.